Hey everybody, it's Whiskey River, and this is a video on the Metri. I've been playing the Metri a lot in the past few days. Over the weekend, it's almost exclusively what I played. This is all gameplay on Arizona community server. I've given the Rex a break. I've kind of put it on the shelf for right now. It's the turn. I've said it in many of my other videos. The turn radius nerf on it, I think, has really put it in a bad spot. And PT Rex just removed the balance tail from it. And there's a lot of great Giga players out there that know how to avoid the bone break and how to exploit the turn radius, and not only Giga but other mid tiers and stuff and sub apex that know how to get around the bone break and just get behind you and tail ride you. And without that turn, it's impossible, very close to impossible to bone break any of those skilled players. So I've just been frustrated with it. It's a great ambush predator still. You can hang out in the forest and ambush, but like I've said in many other videos, that gets very boring sitting in the forest all the time because everything avoids the forest. So you have to go to a place where players avoid, and it's not fun sitting somewhere by yourself, for without any interaction for long periods of time. So of course, I wanted to play something where I could go where the action is and still have something that's survivable, something that I could play solo, something that I could also group up with some friends if I do have some friends on that want to play. And so I chose the Metri, and I've really been pleasantly surprised by it. I've been really enjoying it. It is a mid-tier that can contend with sub-apex, as you can see here with this Pycno. If you're a solo Metri, you can handle most of the solo sub-apexes out there. The apexes, you're not going to be able to really 1v1. I mean, you could, but it's a huge challenge. But what you can do on Arizona, especially with the third-party rule and the rules that they have about engagements, is you can wait for some apexes to get done with a Terry, and then you can fight them. So as a solo Metri, I'll do that. If it's an apex that just got done, like a Giga, a couple of Gigas getting done with a Terry from a Rex or something like that, I'll go after the Rex and try to fight it, because as a Metri mid-tier, you've got fraction of the health that the Rex starts off with anyways, and it's got bone break, so it's still got a really good fighting chance against a Metri. And as a Metri, it's still dangerous for you to attack it. If I'm in a pack of 3 Metris, then I'm not going to mess around with the Rex, because it's just, at that point, it's just taking advantage of a weak player. So there's a fine line there. You got to. I personally, it's just my own kind of code, I guess, that I follow, and I'm careful with it. I try not to prey upon the weak, but take challenging fights. And with the Metri, you can do that. For some reason, I've been getting attacked by Pycnos a lot. I got about 7 now. I think 7 Pycnos that I've killed in the past 4 days. Most of them have attacked me, like this one and the one that you just saw in that previous clip. They come and they see a solo Metri and they think it's easy and they're going to kill you, and they get shocked because the Metri can tail ride a Pycno pretty easily, as you could see in that previous clip and in this clip here. Pycno is more of a hit and run dino that needs to be in the plains on flat ground with a lot of open space where it can do its charges and stuff. So if you can get him tied up in a rocky, hilly place like this where it can't use any of its real good abilities, then it's game over for the Pycno. And even though he is hitting me a lot and I'm not able to dodge a lot of his hits, I'm getting 2 or 3 bites for every one of his bites. And that's all you really need to do. I didn't need to use a heal call in that fight, but it also has heals, and it's very maneuverable. It's got great turn radius. It's got decent damage. You've got claw attack, tail attack, the debuff, damage debuff call, and also a heal call, and then there's a trot speed call you could use as well. So when you're in a group, you can utilize all of those different calls together. And when you're in a group, you also have a group heal. So you have a solo heal, a group heal, and those other a trot, speed, and a debuff call. They recently took away its balanced claws and balanced tail, but I feel like they added turn radius to the Metri because I don't really notice a big difference in the turn radius. It's still got excellent turn radius, and it can outturn most things. And it seems like in this game, turn radius is really the key to winning most battles. One of the things you do have to watch out for is the packs of low tiers, like Utahs, Latins, things like that. They're very dangerous, but you can still handle them. Like I did with this pack here, you try to just focus one and kill it before the pack kills you. And if you can do that, then you'll win. I got attacked about 3 different times by packs of Utahs. I won 2 of the fights and I lost 1 of them. And so it's pretty even. A real good skilled pack of Utahs will kill me every time. But thankfully, with the packs, it's the good ones. It takes a good coordinated bunch that are all in voice chat together and that are experienced at fighting with them. And usually, what happens with the low tiers and the packs is that you get a bunch of pickup groups. Some people are not in voice chat. Some are. Maybe they haven't played together before, so they don't have the best synergy. And so, you'll still stand a chance at winning in a lot of the cases. The claw attack is really good for the smaller stuff too, like I used right there. And, if you're smart, for the most part, you can see those packs of stuff and you can avoid them. You can see them coming and just leave the area, or try to be sneaky and sneak around and make sure they don't see you or find you, and then maybe try to attack them after they've already engaged or seemed weak. Because that way, if it's a pack of 5, for example, you want to try to get every advantage possible. And like I was saying, the Metri does have a cap of a group limit of 3. So if you have some friends that want to play, you can add a couple to your pack, like I do here. I've got 2 pack mates, the one and only Honey River and my friend Griffin. We play a lot together, and Honey is very new. She'd been watching me play Path of Titans for several years now, and she finally decided to give it a shot. And she's been enjoying it, learning, still very new, but learning. And in this fight here, she did an awesome job. It was actually like the first fight where I was like really impressed with, I could tell she's come a long way. She went from just learning how to do the basic mechanics to actually effectively getting in and out on this Edmont here, and actually contributing a great deal to the fight. She went through all the different dinosaurs. She wasn't sure which dinosaur she liked, so we went through a whole bunch of different ones: herbivores, carnivores. I helped her grow a whole bunch of them, and we played a lot of them together. And she settled in on the Metri. She said that was her favorite, and she liked playing the most. So that's what got me to start playing it more, and I've really learned to enjoy it as well. And like I said, with the Rex having its issues right now, and it's just time for me to do something new. And so the Metri is what I've settled in on for right now as kind of a main character. It can take down sub-apexes and apexes in a group of 3. You got to be coordinated, you got to be communicating, and you got to be careful. But it has a heal call every minute, and it has a solo heal call as well as a group heal call, and you can stack those 2 together. And it's very, very effective for the long endurance type fights. And it has a limitation where you can only hunt sub-apex plus dinosaurs at night, or if it's foggy out. So the sun cannot be showing in the sky. As long as the sun's not showing in the sky, you can initiate a hunt on those sub-apex plus. So gotta be careful about that. This is one limitation that it has. And it's a good limitation because these things are a menace. I mean, if they were able to hunt all the time, it would be a nightmare for most things. It can, I think it can tail ride. It can outturn pretty much anything in the game. I can't think of anything that's got better turning radius than a Metri. Maybe a conch, like some of the low tier stuff might, if it's set up for turning. But even then, it's good enough to where you can. It's not totally limiting to the Metri. Another really nice thing about Metri and mid-tiers in general is that when you die, it's not so punishing. When I would die on the Rex, for example, it's a 2.5 hour questing grind to get back up to adult. Now on the Rex, the cool thing about it is that the adolescent Rex is actually a lot of fun to use and to play. It's almost like a whole other dinosaur. It's like a little allo or something like that. I mean, I've 1v1 allos on an adolescent Rex. Gasp very hard, but I've done it. And I've taken on a pack of UDs on an adolescent Rex. So the adolescent Rex is actually a strong dino. It's almost kind of the type of character, really, because it's so fast and you can land the bone break easier. But it takes so long to get back to adult. Sometimes it could be a grind. So I always save up tokens just in case. If I died on my Rex, I would grow it back. But if I died on my Rex and then I died again as an adolescent, I would just buy a growth at that point. That's what I'd save my tokens up for. But the cool thing is on the Metri, if you die, then it's so fast to grow back. I mean, you're back, and like I usually spawn at Ripple Beach or whatever, and then I don't have my pack mates waste on me. I just come back, I run back, and I quest along the way. And by the time I'm back to where they are, I'm adult. So it's not a big deal if you die. So you can take a lot of more risks with it. Now you can see in this spot there, that Edmont almost killed me. It bone broke me and it started biting me, but the bone break didn't last long enough, and I was able to get out. My pack mates were able to tail ride it while it was focused on me, and it had to turn its attention to them, allowing me to escape. So again, it's really important to have good coordination and communication and good friends that are playing with you when you are taking on something bigger like this. But I was able to escape and then just heal up. I mean, I went from almost dead to almost full health in about 3 or 4 heal calls, and you get the heal call back every minute. So it really is an amazing mod to play. Now things like gigas and allos and anything that has bleed, you gotta stay away from, especially if it's an apex or a sub apex, because those will prevent you from being able to heal, and now you're just a super squishy dinosaur without the heal. And you can outrun them and outturn them, but it's best to just avoid those things that have bleed like that, because without the heal, you're at a huge disadvantage, and it kind of takes the whole shtick away from the Metri if you can't heal. So that's your biggest threats. Latins, as a low tier, if there's a pack of Latins out there, you should run and get the heck out of Dodge, because they all do bleed, and they have pounce, and they're faster than you, and they can jump off cliffs, and they can get away. I mean, they're a huge threat right now, especially with the TLC update. So yeah, anything with bleed. But if it doesn't have bleed and you can heal, then you're a tank, really. This Edmont really tried everything. Tried using the rock there, tried using the ocean, the beach, with all the sticks and stuff around to get us caught up. Tried using this pond up here. I mean, it tried everything. And we just were persistent and kept with the fight. And persistence really is the key. One of the things that you're fighting against the most is time, because as you can see, I'm dangerously close to starving, and the longer the fight you have, the greater the risk of starving that you have, and that's really more of a threat than the thing that you're fighting. So you've got to be mindful of that and manage your hunger well. If you're going to fight an apex or a sub-apex like this, I suggest you start right at the allowable hunger to hunt, which is 60% on this server. You start there, you should have enough food to last through a whole apex fight or sub-apex fight like this. One of the nice things about the Metri, though, is that if you do begin to starve, you can use your heal call to heal through it, and that's what I started having to do here when my hunger got down to the red. And the other issue is the third party. The longer the fight goes on, the higher the chance of you have of being third party or something interfering with the fight. You might have noticed those Iggies that came across. There was like this huge herd of Iggies. Don't know if they were friends with this player or just happened to see another herbivore in trouble and kind of were trying to help it out. Which technically, they came close to mixed packing a little bit because they were coming across the bridge and they let the Edmont get in their personal space and ignored it basically. But as soon as we tried to cross the bridge to go after the Edmont, they attacked Griffin and hit her a few times. And that's technically not allowed. They should have been, if they're gonna defend their personal space, they should have done it to the Edmont the same as they did it to us. So, whatever, we just put up with stuff like that. But the bigger threat is a third party from another carnivore. Obviously, the fight takes this long, then something's going to see us fighting and see us weak and try to third party. So we got lucky that we didn't get third partied. And unlucky for the Edmont, but very lucky for us. The Edmont probably would have been better off staying in the same area over there in Savannah. It's a lot more popular, but because then it would have increased the chance of the third party and somebody picking one of us off. But I think it needed to get water, and probably was thinking about the healing waters here to help it out a little bit, which is smart. And it was using the terrain. They played really actually very smart. They did an excellent job because it was very hard for us to kill it. It took a very long time. You can see the Iggies back here in the back too. They were definitely very, very close to mixed packing. They kept on trying to interfere and just do whatever they could to distract us and get involved in this fight, which really is against the rules. But we deal with that kind of stuff all the time, and we just gotta be careful about it. But the Edmont did the best they could. They used the terrain very wisely. It's just that 3 Metris is a very, very hard thing to deal with. So it was a GG's, and yeah, like the Metri. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Please leave me some comments and a like if you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you out there in Gondwa. Goodbye.